I want to share more with you on the stimulus package. We've been able to learn a lot more information over the last couple of days. And this topic here will be focused on the individual side of the stimulus. And this is primarily around the advance checks everyone will be getting, or most people will be getting over the next few weeks. So the newest information we just learned about is there is going to be a web portal the IRS is going to set up. They announced on March 30th that they are going to have a web portal online. You are going to be able to go online, change your direct deposit information, change your address. They're saying this is coming in the next week or two, so you should see that very soon. The timing of the stimulus checks, we still don't really know what that is. Everyone's saying a few weeks. I'm hearing as early as 2 weeks. I'm hearing as late as 6 weeks. So right now we don't have a whole lot of clarity around timing. It is coming. It's an advance check. And what that means is this is an advance on your 2020 tax return. On your 2020 tax return, you're going to have a place where you pick up $1,200 per person and $500 per child as a credit on your tax return. This is in addition to everything else going on. Well, what they're doing right now to stimulate the economy, instead of you having to wait a year from now and file your 2020 return to reap the benefit, they're sending advance checks. So this is an advance tax check. So if you don't get it right now, and you should qualify, when you file your 2020 return, you'll get it at that point. So for example, it phases out for married couples at $198,000. Let's say they're looking at your 2018 or 2019 return and you made $230,000. You are not qualifying for the advance credit right now. You will not get a stimulus check. You won't get $1,200 per person. You won't get $500 per child. You make too much money based on the requirements. However, when you file your 2020 return, if your income drops down to, let's say, 140, then you'll pick it up at that point. So you're not losing it. And the reverse side of that, let's say you made 140 in 19 and you're getting the full stimulus check for your family. When you file 2020, if you made more money, if you made $230,000 at that time, you don't have to pay anything back. So it's really a win-win. If you qualify and you get it early, you don't have to pay it back no matter what the situation is. If you don't get it now, but you qualify on your 2020 tax return, you'll pick it up at that point. So you will get to take advantage of the credit in one way or the other if you fall under the requirements. And really the requirements are for individuals to fully receive the credit, you got to make under 75. And it starts phasing out. For married filing joint couples, it starts phasing out at 150 and it's completely gone by 198. If you draw Social Security, you qualify. If you're unemployed, you qualify. Pretty much anybody lower than those amounts qualify. If you haven't filed in a couple of years, you still qualify. You probably need to file or need to go through their portal to set up your address, your direct deposit information. If you owe federal taxes or state taxes, they're not going to offset the stimulus. If you owe for 19, if you owe back taxes, if you have some tax debt, it's not going to affect the stimulus advance check. The only thing we're hearing will affect the check is child support. If you owe child support, they will take that out of the stimulus check, or they will take the stimulus check and apply for that. We're getting a little bit of conflicting information on if you draw Social Security or you have low income and you haven't filed in the last 2 or 3 years. We're hearing on some sides of things that you don't have to do anything, that it's going to come automatically. And I do think that's true for people drawing Social Security. However, if you haven't filed in a few years or you don't make enough to file, you're probably going to want to file a return just to update your information in the system and just to kick in the receiving of that advanced stimulus. Again, if you don't do it now, you can do it for the 2020 year-end tax return and pick it up at that point. So no need to stress or rush out or feel like you got to do it right now. It's going to be coming out soon. I'll continue to release more information. The IRS is going to release more information on their website. You can go to www.irs.gov to find out more. There's not much there right now other than they say a portal is coming soon to change things. If you don't change anything, it's going to go off your last filed tax return. If it's 19, it's going to go off your address or your direct deposit information for 19. If you haven't filed 19 yet and you filed 18, then it's going to go off the 2018 address and the 2018 direct deposit. Here's a tip. If 18 you qualified based on income, but 19 your AGI is going to be too high, then you may want to hold off on filing 19 and actually sending it in for 2 or 3 weeks. So that way you get the advance check. So you can right now, if you're in between filing 19, look at that AGI number, and if it's higher than the phase out, you may want to wait because they'll go by the 18 until you submit that 19. So there's a little tip there that'll help you get the stimulus advance. Otherwise, if you went ahead and filed, you probably would not qualify for that. If you got any questions, please let me know, reach out. I'll have more coming soon on the business side. I'll release another video on that today. Thanks.